What's going on, guys? Laddifer, the support player here, bringing you a tips and tricks video on how to be a better support player. I've been doing this for about a year now, got a lot of feedback and support from those I play with, and I'm going to pass it on to you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the video.
Alert. Friendly division agent is down.
Let's start with basic support tactics. Team knowledge and knowing where your team is. If you don't know what builds your team's running, you need to, because you know how to play to their strengths and you know how to play to their weaknesses. Help them out. It'll help keep you alive. It'll help keep the team alive a little bit longer as well. So if you're playing with a Deadeye on your team, have some steady heals coming his way because you know he's kind of weak. Or have that really strong pulse for him. If you're playing with a high DPS build, make sure he's constantly healed. Maybe also throw a pulse on for him. Or maybe even throw a fire turret on for some suppression. If you're playing just basic medic, make sure you have heals on the ground all the time, quickly and often. Knowing where your team's at is important as well. If you don't know where your team is, you don't know where to throw your grenades, you don't know where to throw your heals. And the reason a lot of people throw grenades is to catch players off guard, keep them off, get them staggered so that they're not shooting at you, and to create kind of choke points in a way. If you're spamming grenades at one corner of a hallway, they're not going to come that way. They're going to find another way around, and that way your whole team can focus on that other way. Another thing I like to do is, if the team is spread out, I like to shadow a person. So I'll pick a member of the team, and it could be anybody. It could be a high DPS guy, it could be our hard hitter, it could be the weakest guy on the team. It doesn't really matter. I'll just pick one guy and I'll stick with him. I'll keep heals on the ground for him. I'll constantly be looking for the team and keeping them in my peripheral vision, but I will constantly be focused on keeping them alive. Like right here in this video, you can see me keeping this guy to my left alive. He's out there, pops out of cover, starts shooting. I shoot him a heal. Comes out of cover, starts shooting, pop him a heal. Over and over again. Keep him alive, keep him moving, and keep the team in the positive and not hating each other. Communication is key.
How'd you like that final measure medic, boys?
Knowing what kind of heals to run is kind of tricky. So this build I'm running, an overdose, is pretty much my go-to. However, in PvP I'm often running defib. So sometimes you have to make sacrifices. My build would work better with an overdose, but here I'm going to have to switch to a defib, because I could have easily revived that guy, but I just didn't get the chance. So knowing what skills to use and when is important. It depends on your playstyle and your team.
Good shit, Spigs. That's what I'm talking about.
Support players are often targeted first. So if you're a healer, you're going to get hit first almost every single time, because they know they take out the medic, everybody else will fall quickly. So, movement is key. You need to be able to move, bob and weave, strafe, get behind the people that are shooting at you. Dodge them, weave them. You're not always going to win. You're not always going to avoid getting shot at every single time. But navigating, an area, a dark zone, is always important. You got the your support station if you want to put it in a spot where you know they can't see it. That's handy, but sometimes you want them to see it. You want them to start shooting at it so it distracts them from you for a second. So you can get out of there. And you can always pop it at any time to get that overdose if you need it. When you're playing a medic, you want to use your heals often, and don't be afraid to throw them out early. If you know somebody's going to go down, throw that defib on the ground. It'll pick them up almost immediately. Sometimes it'll lag out, but it's better than not trying. If you're running an immune box, make sure your team knows where it's at. Always call them back. Like, hey, come back to the box, come back to the bag, come back to the lunch box, whatever your nickname for the support station may be. It's important to know that your team knows what you're talking about. That's all I got for you guys. I think I covered most of the basic PvP strategy, support player tactics. Just get in there, get the heals out as quick as possible, get the pulses out if you're running them. Knowing where your team's at is important. Knowing what your team's running so you can play to their strengths. Tossing grenades is never a bad idea. I mean, if they're running a final measure, then you might have to change your tactic a little bit. But, shadowing people, that's important. Always watching your buddy's back. Combat medic is important. The talent that every time you use a medkit heals your allies within 10 meters. Very, very handy in combat, especially PvP combat. You just say medkit and somebody pops a medkit for you. That way you can keep face tanking or running as may need be. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, excuse me. If you did enjoy it, hit that like button. If you didn't like it, hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Just do it, right? I mean, what's it gonna hurt?
Don't do it on me.
But if you didn't like it, put in the comments why you didn't like it. I'll try to make it better. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those guys that I'm set in my ways. I'm here to help you guys. It's all about you guys. You guys support me, and you guys, give me feedback, and I love it. So I can't get enough of you guys. And if you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe, please. Can't do it without you guys. Like I just said, the more I help out, the more better I feel. So enjoy this video, just me dinking around with some rogues in the dark zone. Eventually they did kill me, but I made them work for it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Miss you.
Alert. An agent is now leaving your team.
Are you killing somebody again?
No, I'm just fucking off.
Supply drop timer has expired.
Oh, da, na, 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 na. Oh, they got me.